Hello and welcome to this presentation from the Urban Penguin. My name is Andrew Mallett and today we're going to go through and take a look at some of the equipment that I use in creating my videos. Now remember, I'm creating videos both for YouTube but also for the consumption of Pluralsight, so they really need to have a great sound quality, otherwise people are just not going to engage with them. So the first microphone that we look at, I've probably had now for maybe 2 years, 2.5 years, and it's a Neumann 87. Now, of course, it's not the cheapest of microphones, but one of the things that I noticed straight away is that it gave me zero background noise. So I didn't need to do any cleaning up of my audio after having created my videos, which was great time saving and also gives a huge benefit to the production quality. But it's not a cheap microphone. This is going to set you back somewhere in the region of about 2,000 UK pounds. So it's certainly not for just the home enthusiast. But if you're looking to do things professionally, this can work really well. However, also choosing your right interface into the computer becomes a huge bonus too. I'm currently using this microphone with a Rodecaster Pro 2. So this is new out this year, and it's an audio interface and preamp. So your microphones plug into the Rodecaster Pro. The Rodecaster Pro connects via USB to your computer. It's a little large, it sits on the desk, but it gives you the ability to remove all background noise immediately and during the stage before it gets sent to the computer, so you don't need to do any tidying up. Now that does mean if I swap across to another microphone, the sound quality on the other microphone is still going to sound very, very good. So remembering that this microphone is somewhere in the region of about 2,000 UK pounds, if I just fade up another microphone at the moment, and then I'll fade this one down. As I bring in this microphone, of course, once I get close, the sound is going to start appearing a little bit better. Getting close to the microphone is really important to be able to get a real depth of sound. If I move away from the microphone, then it seems a little bit more empty. So it's really important being able to address the microphone and keep the microphone very close to where you're producing the sound from. Now, when we look at this microphone, this is a Rode Procaster Professional. It's an XLR microphone, so again, it connects via your audio interface into your computer. But this then is a lot more reasonable, and it produces a really good sound through the Rodecaster Pro. The Rodecaster Pro, as I say, then becomes a preamp and audio interface, and it removes a lot of the background noise. Previously, when I was using this with a more standard audio interface, I always had to remove the background noise. There was always a faint hum that needed to be cleaned out of my audio. Whereas now, you probably don't notice too much of a difference between this microphone and the previous microphone because the Rodecaster is doing a lot of the cleaning up for me. So this then becomes around about 130, 150 UK pounds and is a very good microphone when used with the correct audio interface. If I fade this one down just for a moment, and then I can look at fading up the third microphone. Now let me just move these out of the way. And we'll bring in the pod mic. I have two of these pod mics and I really use them for interviews. So when I go out and interview people, I have two of these and I've got another separate Rodecaster that I use to do my recordings on. Now with this, we're looking at around about 70 UK pounds. The quality maybe isn't quite there. When we look at listening it compared to the other two microphones, this is going to be a little bit thinner in its sound, not having those rich notes that were produced before. But again, it's really important that we can get a good address to the microphone. Having a microphone stand, the stand here that I'm looking at is relatively cheap, about £25, but it does mean that you can get very close to the microphone. When you look at microphones that just stand up on the desk, they're great for meetings because you can see the mouth, you can get that real feeling that someone's talking to you. But when you want to make an audio recording, You want the quality of the sound and the richness of the sound to be there. Now, I can do that by getting close to the microphone. But if I start moving away from the microphone, a lot of the emotion is taken out of the sound. So I can't get that real feeling. But moving in, as long as I can get close to the microphone, we're able to produce a very warm and a very deep feeling that then comes across in the audio. So it becomes really important the way you can address the microphone just as much as the importance of the quality of the microphone. Now, of course, if you don't want to spend the money for a Rodecaster Pro 2, you can buy a far cheaper audio interface, something like this from Focusrite, the Focusrite Scarlett audio interface range. With this, we've got two inputs. This could be for a microphone or two microphones, or a microphone and some form of instrument, your guitar if you wanted to sing along to your videos. And it connects via USB through to your computer. Now, something like this, a Focusrite Scarlett, is going to set you back maybe something like £135, something like that. So it's quite reasonable. Combine that, let's say, with a Rode PodMic, then you're looking at an investment of probably around about £200 to get your audio up to scratch. But be aware you're likely to get a little background noise, and it's a matter of whether you can live with that background noise and how well you can tidy that up post-production. So hopefully this gives you an idea of some of the different equipment that I use and is available, and gives you some thought of what you can use in your own production environments.
All that is left to say is thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this, then you are probably sadder than I first thought. For more of this drivel, please subscribe, like and comment to @TheUrbanPenguin.